Let me ask you something. If immigration officers knocked on your door right now, or if you were stopped at an airport on your way back from visiting family, would you have everything you need, every document, every form, every piece of identification, ready to protect yourself? If the answer is anything other than an immediate, confident yes, then this video is for you. And I want to speak especially today to our older community members, our seniors, the immigrant grandparents and parents who built their lives in this country over decades. Because in 2026, with the enforcement climate we are living in, having your documents in order is not just a bureaucratic task. It is your safety net. It is the difference between a smooth interaction and a deeply stressful one. I am Mr. Kelly, your immigration analyst, and today we are walking through the 5 documents every immigrant senior must have in 2026, what each one does, how to make sure yours is valid, and what to do right now if something is missing or expired. Before we go any further, I want to be clear that everything I share today is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not legal advice. Immigration law is complex and highly individual, and your specific situation may have nuances that require the guidance of a qualified immigration attorney. Always verify what you hear against official sources and consult a professional for your personal case. Now let's start with the foundation. And this is the document that for many of our viewers defines their entire identity in this country. The Permanent Resident Card, the Green Card, officially known as Form I-551. If you are a lawful permanent resident, this is your most important identity document in the United States. It proves your right to live here, to work here, and to return here after travel. Once you become a lawful permanent resident, you are required by law to carry evidence of your status. That means your green card. You may need to present it during employment verification, and you may be asked to show it at airports or by immigration officers. Failure to carry proof can technically result in penalties. USCIS now. I know some of our senior viewers have had their green cards for 20, 30, even 40 years. And here is something I see constantly in this community. People who receive the older, so-called permanent green cards that have no expiration date and assume they never need to do anything with them. That assumption can cause problems, because even if your underlying status as a permanent resident does not expire, immigration officers today expect to see a current, valid card. If your green card is expired or expiring, you can renew or replace it using Form I-90. When you successfully file Form I-90, USCIS mails a receipt notice, usually within 2 to 4 weeks, and that receipt notice automatically extends your lawful permanent resident status for up to 36 months beyond the expiration date on your card. You may use your expired green card together with the receipt notice as proof of status for employment and re-entry to the United States. Journey. So that is your first action item. Go find your green card today, right now, when this video ends. Look at the front of the card. If there is an expiration date and it is within the next 12 months, file Form I-90 immediately. You can do this through the USCIS website at uscis.gov. Do not wait. In 2026, with increased scrutiny at ports of entry and a more active enforcement environment, having a current, valid card is not optional. If your card is lost, stolen, or damaged, file Form I-90 immediately to replace it. And always keep a photocopy of your green card, both front and back, stored separately from the card itself. If it is ever lost, that copy becomes critical. USA. The second document I want to talk about is your passport, specifically your home country passport. Now, some seniors in our community have been here so long that their passport from their country of origin expired years ago, and they never renewed it. I understand the instinct. If you are living in the United States as a permanent resident, why do you need a foreign passport? But here is the reality. In general, lawful permanent residents need to present a passport from their country of citizenship to travel to a foreign country. In addition, the foreign country may have additional entry and exit requirements such as a visa. While U.S. Customs and Border Protection does not require the passport for permanent residents returning to the United States, the airlines may have their own requirements. Please check with your airline prior to travel. Visa Lawyer blog. That last point is critical and often catches seniors off guard. Even if technically CBP does not require your foreign passport to re-enter the United States as a green card holder, your airline very likely will before they let you board the plane. And every country you visit will require it at their border. A valid foreign passport is an essential travel companion, and renewing it is something you do through your home country's embassy or consulate in the United States. For many of our viewers, that means contacting the Mexican consulate, the Filipino consulate, the Indian consulate, the Chinese consulate, whoever represents your country of origin. Find them, contact them, and if your passport is expired or expiring within 6 months, start the renewal process now. Processing times at consulates can be longer than expected, and you do not want to be stuck without a valid passport when an important trip comes up, especially a family emergency. Now we come to the third document, and this one is specifically for our seniors who travel internationally for extended periods. Many of our elder community members spend months at a time overseas, visiting grandchildren, managing family affairs, attending to health matters back home. And here is where a very common and very serious mistake happens. If you remain outside of the United States for more than 2 years, any re-entry permit you were issued before departure will have expired. In this case, it is advisable to consider applying for a returning resident visa at the nearest U.S. embassy or consulate. Additionally, absences from the United States of 6 months or more may disrupt the continuous residency required for naturalization. Fraser PLLCSO. Let's talk about the re-entry permit. Form I-131. If you are a green card holder who plans to travel outside the United States for more than 1 year, you need a re-entry permit before you leave. If you plan to stay outside of the United States for more than 1 year, but less than 2 years, you will need a re-entry permit. You must be physically present in the United States when you apply for the permit. Generally, a re-entry permit is issued for 2 years from the date of issuance. A re-entry permit may not be extended. And here is the part that matters enormously. If you stay abroad for over 6 to 12 months without a re-entry permit, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, or USCIS, may consider your green card abandoned, even if it has not expired. Tan's Law Manifest Law. Think about what that means. You could have held your green card for 30 years, leave to care for an aging parent abroad, stay longer than expected, come back to the U.S., and face a CBP officer who questions whether you have actually abandoned your permanent residency. This is not a hypothetical. It happens to senior green card holders more often than most people realize. So the rule is simple. If there is any chance you might be outside the United States for more than a year, file your re-entry permit before you leave. You apply using Form I-131 through USCIS. You must be physically present in the United States to file. This is not something you can do from abroad after the fact. The fourth document is one that many immigrant seniors either do not have or do not think about. And yet in 2026, in this enforcement environment, it is one of the most practical things you can put together for your family's protection. That document is a personal immigration file, a complete organized collection of copies of all your key immigration and identity records. Let me explain why this matters so much right now. If you are a non-citizen, you are legally required to carry immigration documents such as a green card or work permit at all times. But having your documents means more than just keeping your green card in your wallet. It means having a system. It means your family knows where your documents are. It means if something happens, an unexpected encounter with law enforcement, a medical emergency that leaves you incapacitated, or a situation where you need to prove your status quickly, the people who love you can find what is needed without panic. The National Immigrant Justice Center advises that if you are over the age of 18 and have lawful immigration status, you should carry your papers with you at all times. But beyond carrying them, you should have copies stored safely at home, and ideally with a trusted family member or friend. CBP Customer Service. What belongs in this personal immigration file? Your green card, both front and back, your valid passport, any prior visas or entry stamps, your social security card, your birth certificate, with a certified translation if it is not in English, any naturalization certificate if you have become a citizen, any approval notices from USCIS, such as your I-797 receipt or approval notices, your most recent I-94 arrival and departure record, which you can now access online through the CBP website, and if you are on Medicare, Medicaid, or any federal benefits program, include your enrollment cards and any relevant letters from those agencies. Think of this file as your immigration biography. Everything that documents who you are, where you came from, and your legal right to be here. All persons who are 18 years of age or older who have valid immigration documents are required to carry them at all times. This includes a green card or work authorization card. Make copies. Store them securely. Give a set to a trusted family member. And in today's world, consider a secure digital backup as well. A scanned copy stored in a private, password-protected cloud account that a trusted person in your family knows how to access. Immigration law of Lathe fifth and final document I want to talk about today is one that not everyone will need, but for those who do, it is absolutely critical. That is the advance parole document, again filed using Form I-131, for seniors who have a pending green card application and need to travel internationally. If you have filed for adjustment of status, meaning you are applying for your green card from inside the United States, and you leave the country without an approved advance parole document, your application could be considered abandoned. If you have a pending Form I-485 and you travel without approved advance parole, USCIS will consider your green card application abandoned and terminate your application. USCIS, this is one of the most heartbreaking situations I see. Seniors who receive an emergency call from abroad rush to get on a plane to be with a sick family member and come back to find their green card application has been canceled. Advance parole is the document that protects you while your application is pending. The standard approach in 2026 is to file Form I-131 concurrently with your I-485 adjustment of status application and Form I-765 for work authorization. Filing all three together allows USCIS to process them together and issue a combination EAD and advance parole card. If you already have a pending I-485 and you did not file for advance parole at the time, file for it now, before any travel plans come up. And remember, even with an approved advance parole document, re-entry into the United States is not guaranteed. A CBP officer at the port of entry still makes that determination. Always consult with an immigration attorney before traveling with a pending application. U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Now let me bring this all together for you. I know this has been a lot of information, and I know that for many seniors in our community, dealing with paperwork and government forms can feel overwhelming, especially when English is not your first language, and especially when the system seems to change constantly. But here is what I want you to hear. You are not alone, and you do not have to figure this out by yourself. There are free and low-cost immigration legal services in every state. The Department of Justice maintains a list of organizations accredited to help immigrants with their cases, and you can find that list at justice.gov. Your local library, your church community, your ethnic community organizations, these are all places where you can find help navigating these documents. Let me give you the practical steps one more time, clearly and simply. First, find your green card and check the expiration date. If it expires within 12 months, file Form I-90 right away at uscis.gov. Second, check your home country passport. If it is expired or expiring within 6 months, contact your country's consulate in the United States and start the renewal process. Third, if you are a green card holder who plans to travel abroad for more than 1 year, file for a re-entry permit using Form I-131 before you leave, while you are still in the United States. Fourth, build your personal immigration file. Gather copies of every key document, store them safely, and make sure a trusted family member knows where they are. Fifth, if you have a pending green card application, file for advance parole before you travel anywhere internationally, no matter how urgent the trip feels. And one final thing I want to say to our senior viewers specifically. You built a life here. You worked, you paid taxes, you raised families, you contributed to your communities. The documents we talked about today are the legal proof of everything you have built. Keeping them current and organized is one of the most powerful acts of self-protection you can take in this moment. Do not leave it until tomorrow. Do not assume someone else is taking care of it. Look at your documents today. Everything I have shared is current as of May 10, 2026, and is based on official guidance from USCIS, the Department of Homeland Security, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, and the U.S. Department of State. Please remember that immigration policy can and does change. Always verify the most current requirements at uscis.gov, cbp.gov, and travel.state.gov. This content is informational only and does not constitute legal advice. Please consult a qualified immigration attorney for guidance specific to your situation. If this video helped you or someone you love, I have 3 simple requests. Hit that like button. It helps us reach more families who need this information. Subscribe to Mr. Kelly, Immigration Analyst, because this channel exists to be your guide through the immigration system, in plain language, every single week. And share this video with a senior immigrant in your life, a parent, a grandparent, a neighbor, who needs to hear this. The description below has links to all the official government resources we mentioned today. I am Mr. Kelly. Thank you for trusting me with your time and your future. Stay organized, stay informed, and take care of each other. I will see you in the next one.